Hey, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Saguaro High School in Scottsdale. Todd Garbison for Southwest Sports Network. More play-by-play coverage of Saguaro Sabercats varsity baseball, and Saguaro at home playing in Game 3 of the Cleats Classic here in 2012. Their opponent today in the second game of the day is Cactus Shadows, and the Cactus Shadows Falcons with their leadoff hitter up there, and that's Kyle Brown, as he has fallen behind on the count now, 1-2 strikes. So Brown, the leadoff hitter for Cactus Shadows. The Falcons come in at 3-2 on the season. They won 3 PowerPoint games last week, but they have started off this tournament 0-2. Saguaro now 9-2 on the season, and they're 2-0. In tournament play, Jake Swartz starts today, and a ground ball off the bat of Brown over to the right side. That's picked up there, and a throw on to first base, and that's in time, and there's one away. So Brown, the leadoff hitter. Brett Beiser will bat second and play shortstop. Sean O'Grady, the center fielder, bats third. Hitting fourth is the right fielder, Eugene Ruiz. Eduardo Castro is the starting pitcher today. He bats fifth. Trevor Beebe is sixth and plays first base. Batting seventh is a left fielder, Connor Mayer. Jake Colombo hits eighth and catches. And the number 9 hitter is the third baseman, Brett Lane. The first one from Swartz over for a strike. Now the 1 and the 1-strike pitch. That's on the inside corner, a strike, and it's 0-2. The 0-2 pitch. And an off-speed pitch hit on the ground out to short. Matt Morris, the shortstop, fields. He throws to first base. Austin there to catch it in time. And there's 2 away. So 2 ground ball outs from Jake Swartz. And the batter is Sean O'Grady, the center fielder. Defensively for Saguaro, Austin Anderson is in left field. Zach Gibbons is in center, and Chris Ackman is in right. John Nimps plays third. Matt Morris is the shortstop. And we get a swing and a miss there for a strike. Nick Lagousas gets the start at second base. And Reed Austin at first. Woody Johnston starts behind the plate here in the second game today. And Jake Swartz, the pitcher, the 0-1. And that's fouled back out of play. And the count is 0-2. Sabercats winners of 7 in a row after starting the season 1-2. And now Swartz steps off. Saguaro got a win earlier today, a 5-0 shutout over Marcos Deniza. Dakota Ristad threw a 1-hitter going all 7 innings for the Sabercats. Pitch fouled out of play, and it's still no balls and 2 strikes. The 0-2, and that's high for a ball. It's 1-2. Yeah, that one hit right back up the middle, and Swartz catches the line drive to take the base hit away from O'Grady. A loud line out ends the Cactus Shadows first. 3 up and 3 down they go, and after a half inning of play, it's the Falcons 0. And Saguaro coming up. Austin Anderson in to lead it off for Saguaro in the bottom of the first inning, and he takes a fastball high and outside for ball 1. Now the 1-0 pitch. That's low for a ball, and it's 2-0. Anderson leads off playing left field for Saguaro rather. Zach Gibbons bats second and plays center field, and Chris Ackman in right field hits third. And the 2-0 pitch is high, 3-0. Reed Austin at first base bats fourth. The shortstop Matt Morris is fifth, and John Nimps hits sixth and plays third base. Dakota Ristad starts as the designated hitter. He'll bat seventh. Nick Lagousas is eighth at second base. And the number 9 hitter is the catcher, Woody Johnston. A 4-pitch walk to Austin Anderson to start it off for Saguaro in the bottom of the first inning. And the batter is Zach Gibbons.
Now batting center fielder, number 3, Zach Gibbons.
Eduardo Castro, the starter today for Cactus Shadows. He'll turn and throw to first, and the runner Anderson dives back. Colombo, the catcher. Beebe at first, Brown at second, Lane at third. These are the shortstop, Mayer in left, O'Grady in center, and Ruiz in right for the Falcons. The pitch on the inside corner. Actually missed inside, and it's ball 1 to Zach Gibbons. And these two teams met 3 times last year. Once at Saguaro and once at Cactus Shadows during the regular season, and then Saguaro eliminated Cactus Shadows in the 4A1 playoffs last year. The 1-0 pitch. That's high, and it's 2 balls and no strikes. Anderson 6 of 7 in stolen base attempts on the season as he'll take his lead over at first base. Beebe holding him on. The throw goes that way, and Austin dives back well ahead of the tag. No score bottom of the first inning, second game of the day for the Sabercats after they took care of Marcos Deniza in the first game 5-0. That pitch over for a strike, and it's 2-1 on Gibbons. That ball hits pretty well to right center field, and O'Grady over for the catch. He'll throw back behind the runner, but Anderson dives in well ahead of the throw. So Gibbons flies out, and the batter is Chris Ackman. I don't know if anything changed in the schedule. I know there have been several changes to the schedule as far as days and times and so forth. Saguaro was actually supposed to play a single game yesterday and then one today, as Chris Ackman goes after a hanging breaking ball and hammers it into left field for a base hit. So Chris with a single as Anderson goes to second base. And with 1 out, the batter is Reed Austin. But several schedule changes going back to last week, and then a couple more over the weekend, and I think even maybe into the first part of this week. But one of the things, and I don't know if this was a change or not, is that ball is bounced in there. The throw will go to third base, but it's way late, and it's a wild pitch to move the runners up. So Anderson to third and Ackman to first, to a second rather, and it's a 1-0 count on Reed Austin. But it's interesting that this is the third game of the tournament for Saguaro, and they've been the home team all 3 times. Now, obviously, they're playing at their home field, but I believe on the schedule they were scheduled to be the visiting team a couple of times. As Austin fouls this one off. 1-1 the count. One thing Saguaro needs to improve on here in the early going is doing a little better job of bringing in runners. They had 7 hits over the final 3 innings against Marcos Deniza earlier today and did not score. They left 6 runners on base over the 4th, 5th, and 6th inning. And again, it was 7 hits. 2 in the 4th, 3 straight, in fact, to start the 5th inning. They loaded the bases with nobody out and could not score. A fielder's choice forced a runner at the plate and then a double play into the inning. And then 2 more hits and 2 left in the 6th. Trying to change that around here as the fastball comes up and in on Reed Austin as he'll back out of the way, and the count goes to 2-1. Now the set from Castro in the 2-1. Another fastball comes up and in. And it's 3 balls and a strike. Three balls and a strike on Reed Austin with 2 aboard and 1 out. The pitch. And that's hit well out to center field. O'Grady over to his right will make the catch. Tagging from third base is Anderson, and then O'Grady slips trying to get the ball back in to the infield, and that'll allow Ackman to go to third base. So it'll be a sacrifice fly off the bat of Reed Austin, and Reed knocks in his 8th run of the season. As Anderson scores to make it 1-0 Sabercats. And the batter Matt Morris with Ackman at third and 2 away. And the first one to Morris on the inside corner for a strike. And the wind in the 0-1 pitch. And Morris hits one deep down the left field line. If it's fair, it's trouble, but it is a foul ball. That was home run distance, but foul. And the count goes to 0-2. Castro with the 0-2, and that's outside. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Castro, the big right-hander, into the wind, and the 1-2 pitch. And a breaking ball. Morris stays alive there as he fouls the pitch off. Castro listed at 6'1" and 190, but he looks bigger out there. Sabercats trying to get the runner in from third base with 2 outs. They lead 1-0, batting in the bottom of the first. The wind and the 1-2. And a breaking ball. Morris right on that one fouls it to the backstop. Castro looking in as Colombo goes through the signs. The 1-2 pitch. And that's over for strike 3. Morris thought it might have been up, but a called third strike will end the Sabercat first inning. Saguaro gets 1 run on only 1 hit. They leave 1. And after an inning, it's Saguaro 1 and Cactus Shadows 0. Junior Rees, the right fielder, leads off for Cactus Shadows. In the top of the second inning, the first pitch was high. Now the 1-0 pitch is over but high, and it's 2-0. Castro and Beebe to follow. The 2-0. Foul to the backstop, and it's 2-1. Jake Swartz, a senior left-hander for Saguaro as he misses there, and it's 3-1. And a 3-1 pitch, and that's low for ball 4. So a walk starts the Cactus Shadows second inning. It's their first base runner, and he's on at first base, and the batter is Eduardo Castro. Swartz 1-0 on the season, a 0 earned run average, 4 innings pitched for the Sabercats, 2 hits allowed, 3 walks, and 1 strikeout. the first one on the way, and that's lined into center field. And Gibbons has to play that one on a bounce. He'll get it back in quickly, but Cactus Shadows has something going now in the second inning. A walk and a single. Starts the inning. The batter will be Trevor Beebe, but we'll get a courtesy runner over at first base, and we'll see who comes out of the Cactus Shadows dugout. Falcons will run for their pitcher Castro, and again we'll see who it is that comes out here. And it will be C.J. Davis. So Davis is the courtesy runner.
Now batting, number 7, Trevor Beebe.
Beebe, the first baseman, takes the first pitch low for ball 1. They'll look back to second and the 1-0 pitch. That's over, and it's popped up first base side in foul territory. Austin there. And Reed puts it away for the first out of the Falcons' second inning. Now 1 out for the left fielder, Connor Mayer. First one on the way to Mayer, and that's over for a strike. And it's 0-1. Jake Colombo, the catcher, next for the Falcons. 1-0 Saguaro, top of the second inning. Cactus Shadows batting here against Saguaro starter Jake Swartz. They'll look back to second, but no throw. Lagusis broke for the bag just as Swartz started to bring the front leg up. Now the 0-1, and that's popped up first base side, but not enough altitude there. Austin only takes about one jab step into foul territory and stops. He knew he wasn't going to get to it, and the count goes to 0-2. Just kind of seemed like a lifeless effort for Marcos Deniza in the earlier game today, and that's typically not how they play. They're usually a pretty emotional team. As a ground ball goes to Morris, he'll flip to Lagusis for the out, on to Austin, and not in time over there at first base. So Cactus Shadows able to stay out of the double play. Castro's courtesy runner is forced at second base. Ruiz goes to third. Mayer aboard on the fielder's choice, and the batter is Jake Colombo. Colombo in there and ready for the Falcons with 2 aboard and 2 out. Trying to bring in the tying run from third base. And Swartz with the first pitch, and it's outside for ball 1. Anyway, Saguaro did their job in the win over Marcos Deniza. They scored a couple of runs in the first inning, then they got 3 in the third, and by then 5-0, and that's really when things kind of changed for Marcos as Colombo swings and misses. And it's 1-1, and again it was a good pitching effort from Dakota Ristad as he goes all 7 innings and allows just 1 hit. Only had 3 runners on the entire ball game. A leadoff walk in the first, an error, and then a single in the third inning as the runner from first takes off. Mayer steals the base and moves into scoring position. But those 2 runners in the third for Marcos, the first one reached on an error was picked off of second base, as that's a ground ball foul on the first base side. And then after a single, and there was a pop-up and a double play, and that erased the base runner. So Marcos Deniza just 1 base hit and only 1 runner left on through the full 7 innings. 2-2 to Jake Colombo. Swartz thought he might have got the plate there, but it's called a ball, and it's 3-2. Brett Lane, the third baseman, will be next for the Falcons. The 3-2. And that is a called third strike. I think Colombo tried to buy ball 4 there, but a called third strike ends the inning. Swartz gets his first strikeout, and for Cactus Shadows in the second, no runs, their first base hit, a walk, and they leave 2 runners on after an inning and a half. The Falcons trail the Sabercats 1-0. John Nemst, the leadoff hitter for Saguaro in the bottom of the second inning, and he takes the first pitch from Eduardo Castro for a strike. Now the 0-1. And that's a line drive over the glove of the shortstop and into left field. And a leadoff base hit for John Nemts. John with a couple of base hits in the early game against Marcos Deniza. He had a 2-run single and then another single later in the game, 2 for 3, and now he's got another base hit here. So working on a good day at the plate here in the doubleheader. Now Dakota Ristad, turn and a throw to first, and the runner will dive back. Nimps 0 for 2 on the base paths. And the first one on the way to Ristad, and that's over for a strike. Saguaro leading 1-0. They got a sacrifice fly from Reed Austin in the bottom of the first. Turn and a throw to first base, and diving back over there is John Nemts. One more game in pool play tomorrow for the Sabercats as they will host Desert Ridge, 4 o'clock start. And breaking ball to Ristad is high for a ball, and it's 1-1. The 1-1 pitch. It's a fastball, but it's low, and it's 2-1. The set and the 2-1 pitch. And that's lifted out to right field, where he's in several steps, and he makes the catch, and that's the first out in the Sabercat second inning. That brings up Nick Lagusis for the Sabercats. Nick was the DH in the first game today. He gets the start at second base here in the second game. And he takes the first one from Castro low for ball 1. Nick 1 for 3 in the first game. One on, one out, bottom of the second inning, 1-0 Saguaro. Easy throw, and again, Nips is back. And, you know, for a pitcher, it's not that they're necessarily trying to pick off the runner. I mean, that's good too, but the idea really is to continue to throw over there just to keep him close. And now Lagusa shows bunt, and Castro steps off. So if you can even shorten the lead by a half step, it gives you that much more time on a force play on a ground ball. The 1-0 pitch. And a swing and a miss, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike. One ball and 1 strike to count as Castro, the right-hander, sets the pitch. It's bounced in there as the runner takes off. The throw to second is late, and it's a stolen base for John Nemts. Sabercats get another runner into scoring position. comes the 2-1 pitch. It's called a strike, and it's 2-2. Woody Johnston, the catcher, next for the Sabercats. And Eduardo Castro looks back to second base, the right-hander with the 2-2. The runner goes, and the ball bounced first base side, but it turns right and goes into foul territory. So Nemps returns to second base. Lagusa still up there with a 2-2 count. Turning a throw back to second base. The timing off on that play as Brown, the second baseman, standing on the bag, and then he started to walk away just as Castro spun back towards second. The 2-2 again, and this has popped up just on the outfield dirt behind the bag, or the infield dirt rather, behind the bag at second, and it's caught by the shortstop for the second out. So 2 away. And that'll bring up Woody Johnston, the catcher for Saguaro.
Now batting catcher, number 22, Woody Johnston.
And first pitch on the inside corner for a strike to Johnston. Saguaro got a run in the first inning, but really could have ended up with more. They had second and third with 1 out. They did get a sacrifice fly to bring in the run, but then a strikeout into the inning. Now a leadoff single here in the second inning, plus a stolen base, but the Sabercats now batting with 2 outs in the inning after a fly out to right and a pop out to the shortstop. The 1-1. And a breaking ball over for a strike. It's 1-2. Austin Anderson, the leadoff hitter, next for Saguaro. And we'll see if he hits here in the second or if he leads off the third. And that's over for a strike, and Johnston knew it. He'll take strike 3, and that ends the inning. A leadoff base hit for the Sabercats. The runner is stranded at second and through 2. Saguaro still leads Cactus Shadows 1-0. Brett Lane starts things off, and a soft little line drive just over the outstretched glove of Matt Morrison into shallow left field. Lane is on at first base, and the batter is Kyle Brown. Brown grounded out to Lagusa to start the ball game. First pitch to Brown misses, I guess, low for a ball. He had shortened the bunt and took the pitch. Lane at first base with nobody out in the top of the third inning with the leadoff hitter up there while the Falcons try to bunt him over. Swartz throws to first base, partly to keep the runner closer to the bag and partly to see if Brown gives away the play. He did not. And that's up and in, and that got a piece of Brown. Just barely clipped the jersey, it sounded like, and he goes to first and moves Lane to second base. So 2 aboard with nobody out. And Brent Beazer at the plate. And that's bunted and flipped on to third base, and it's in time as they get the lead runner. And that ball takes Swartz over toward third base, and the left-hander able to pick it up and throw. That's his motion continuing on to third. And Lane is forced. 1-5 for the force out. Brown to second. And Beiser goes to first base on the fielder's choice. So 2 aboard with 1 out for Sean O'Grady. And the first pitch is high for ball 1. O'Grady right on a pitch from Swartz back in the first inning as he had a line drive right back at Swartz. Jake caught it to end the first. The 1-0. Popped up, fooled him there, and that is a foul ball, and it's 1-1. Two aboard with 1 out, top of the third inning, 1-0 Saguaro. The 1-1 pitch, the runner from second takes off. The pitch is over for a strike. And the count goes to 1-2. I think Brown was maybe going on his own there because the trailing runner waited and came late on the trail, but he got into scoring position out there. The 1-2. And that's a fly ball, and it should get the run in as Gibbons is back. He'll throw to third base. The throw comes to third. He is out at third, but the run does count as they just get in ahead of the tag. So the sacrifice fly will bring in the run as Brown scores. O'Grady flies out to center for the second out, and then Beiser thrown out 8-5 as Gibbons gets the outfield assist, and that will end the Falcons' third inning, but they tie the ball game with a run on 1 hit. And after 2.5, it's Cactus Shadows 1 and Saguaro 1. Top of the order for Saguaro in the bottom of the third inning. Austin Anderson will start things off here. Anderson walked on 4 pitches in the first inning and scored Saguaro's lone run. And the pitch is outside for ball 1, so 5 in a row to Anderson anyway. He's not seen a strike yet from Eduardo Castro. The 1-0. It's high and outside, 2 balls and no strikes. Anderson, Gibbons, and Chris Hackman for the Sabercats in the third. The 2-0. And that's a ground ball to the right side. Played into a pretty easy bounce for the second baseman Brown, and his throw on to first. He had plenty of time to retire Anderson, and there's 1 out. Still wondering, and you know, it's hard to complain. Saguaro's won 7 games, 8 games now in a row. As the first one to Gibbons is high for a ball. Zach with a fly out his first time up in this one. But if you think back to the game on Monday for the Sabercats, when they beat Chaparral 6-4, it was a 6-run first inning for Saguaro, and then they did not score the rest of the way. So the next pitch is low, and it's 2-0. They got 5 runs in the game earlier today against Marcos Deniza, but they got 2 in 1 inning, 3 in another. And they only scored 5 times. They had 14 base hits. Castro with the 2-0 pitch. Not close there for ball 3, and it's 3-0. A 3-0. Well, that's called a strike. It didn't appear to be really very close. Now the 3-1. And Gibbons fouls a pitch off, and it's 3 balls and 2 strikes. That's a tough thing about it. If you're disciplined as a hitter, you take a 3-0 pitch that should have been ball 4. Instead, it's called a strike. Then you swing at one that might be a little bit down. And now you're looking at a full count. The 3-2 from Castro. And Gibbons with a fly ball out to right center. And shading over from right field is Ruiz. And he's got it for the second out. So as a hitter, you know, obviously you're up there and you want to hit. But if the pitcher's not throwing strikes, it's okay to take a walk. And again, it just changes the complexion of the at-bat. And what potentially could have been a 4-pitch walk, instead, the pitch a strike, and then 2 pitches later, a fly out to right field. And it's 2 outs with the bases empty instead of runner at first with 1 out. And the first one to Chris Ackman is over for a strike. Ackman with a base hit his first time up. One of only 2 hits for the Sabercats so far. John Nips has the other one. And that pitch over for a called strike, and it's 0-2. Bottom of the 3rd inning, 1-1 score from Saguaro in the 0-2 pitch, and that's poked at over to the right side. Grabbed by Beebe, toss to Castro covering, and it's a quiet 3-up, 3-down inning for the Sabercats, and through 3, it's Saguaro 1 and Cactus Shadows 1. Middle third of the order for the Falcons in the 4th inning. And Eugene Ruiz takes a strike on the inside corner. Ruiz walked his first time up. The 0-1 bounced in there, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike. Ruiz, Castro, and Beebe for the Falcons in the 4th inning. The 1-1. Yeah, swing and a miss on a changeup, and the count goes to 1 ball and 2 strikes. And Jake Swartz gave up his first earned run of the season back in the 3rd inning. And now trying to shut down the Falcons in the 4th, the 1-2. And a grounder foul. One ball and 2 strikes. And Swartz with the pitch. Right back to him. He'll knock it down, pick it up, and throw to Austin at first base. And the leadoff hitter is retired in the Cactus Shadows 4th inning. And there's 1 out for Eduardo Castro.
Now batting number 24, Eduardo Castro.
Castro with a single. Back in the 2nd inning. And the first one bounced in there for a ball. Now the 1-0 pitch. And that's fouled off, and it's a ball and a strike. 1 run, 2 hits, no errors for Cactus Shadows. 1 run, 2 hits, no errors for Saguaro. The 1-1. That's not close. 2 balls and a strike. Trevor Beebe, the first baseman, next for the Falcons. Of course, Cactus Shadows with a new head coach once again this season, as they have had maybe 4 in the last 4 years, maybe 3 or 4 anyway, as that ball has popped up on the right side. Lagousas back on the outfield grass with a catch, and there's 2 away. But Guy Gianni is the new head coach at Cactus Shadows. He comes over from Notre Dame Prep, where he had a perennial contender for Notre Dame. In fact, they played in 3 straight 4A Division II state championship games, 3 years in a row. And so I know he lives in that area. We actually did work for Notre Dame for 4 years while he was over there, and know that he lives in Cave Creek and not very far from the school. And in fact, his wife's a coach, the girls softball coach there, and so he's looking to go over there. And the Cactus Shadows, I think that's a good hire for them, as he's going to bring some stability with the fact that he lives in the area and so forth. So I would expect he'll be there for a long time to come, and we wish him well. And the 0-2 and a breaking ball. That's grounded foul outside of third base. Still 0-2 on BB. Connor Mayer, the left fielder, next for the Falcons. 2 outs and the base is empty in the top of the 4th inning. It's Cactus Shadows 1 and Saguaro 1. And the 0-2. And breaking ball misses. Maybe outside, maybe low, and it's 1-2. And the 1-2 pitch. And that's a fly ball into right field. Chris Hackman is there, and he'll put it away to retire the side. A 3-up, 3-down Falcons 4th inning. And the midway point of the ball game, it's Cactus Shadows 1 and Saguaro 1. 4, 5, and 6 in the order for Saguaro in the bottom of the 4th inning. Reed Austin will start things off. And he goes after the first one and fouls it back and out of play. Nothing in 1 on Austin. Reed hit that fly ball in the first inning out to center field that scored Austin Anderson. Now the 1-strike pitch. And a breaking ball. That's a called strike, and it's 0-2. The 0-2 pitch. And that's laced into left field. Austin with a base hit as Castro got a little too much of the plate there on 0-2. Third base hit of the ball game for Saguaro, and it brings up Matt Morris.
Now batting shortstop number 6, Matt Morris.
And the first one to Morris, a called strike. Matt was called out on strikes his first time up. Turn and a throw to first, and diving back at first base is Austin. Reed 4 for 4 in steals. The set and the 1-strike pitch. And Morris late there, and it's 0-2. Another throw to first base.
I would die. Like I'm watching you like a hawk.
Pitch high, and it's 1-2. Now coming into this ball game within this Cleats Sports Classic, Saguaro and Desert Ridge both 2-0. Chaparral 1-1. Marcos Deniza 1-3. Cactus Shadows 0-2. So the Padres are done as far as pool play goes. They have played their 4 games. Chaparral and Desert Ridge playing in the other ball game right now. That one going on over at Desert Ridge. Now the set from Castro and the 1-2 pitch. And Morris hits one on the ground over to third. That's grabbed there. The out at second base. The relay throw on to first is not in time. Austin forced as Lane fielded that grounder and threw it on the money to Brown at second base. But Brown's turn not quick enough to get Morris, not through any fault of his, just Morris got down the line and just took a while to get the ball around the horn from third to second to first. So a runner at first and one out for John Nips. Nips had a single his first time up. And the pitch fell high for a strike. 1-1, the score in the bottom of the fourth. Throw to first, and again, the runner is back. This time it's Morris over there at first base. The runner goes, the pitch is high, the throw is going to sail and go into center field, and Morris is going to go to third on the play. So Matt with the steal of second, and then it goes to third on the throwing error from Colombo. And that really changes the complexion of the inning now for Saguaro, and I would expect Cactus Shadows will bring the infield in, and they do. Instead of a runner at first with one out, now it's a runner at third base with one away. And it also kind of changes the at-bat for John Nips. Instead of trying to manufacture things, now a fly ball to the outfield would bring home the go-ahead run. Nips fouled one out of play, so now he sits behind on the count 1-2 as Castro kicks and delivers. And that's going to go to the backstop, and that'll bring the run in. So a wild pitch will get it done. And it does not take anything off the bat of Nips. And the Sabercats push the run in, and Saguaro goes on top of Cactus Shadows 2-1. Nips will try to get it going again now. 2 balls and 2 strikes the count with 1 out. And that one tapped foul right at the plate. Two to one Sabercats as they bat in the bottom of the fourth inning. Castro taking a little time behind the mound. Now he's back up there and ready. Into the one and the 2-2. And he's high with the next pitch. 3 balls and 2 strikes. If, either way, whatever Nips does, Dakota Ristad will bat next. I was going to say if Nips reaches, but only 1 out of the inning with the bases empty here. And now the 3-2. And it's high with a fastball for ball 4. Castro a little extra hop there. He's upset that he lost Nips. And John's aboard at first base with 1 down for Dakota Ristad, who hit a fly ball out to Ruiz in right field in his first at bat. One on, 1 out, 1 in for Saguaro in the bottom of the fourth inning. Sabercats back in front, leading Cactus Shadows 2-1. The runner goes, the pitch a strike, the throw to second base. And out is the call. Nips is caught stealing. As Colombo put that one right on the money. Now the 0-1 pitch. It's high for a ball, and it's 1-1. 2 outs now with the bases empty. The 1-1 pitch. It's bounced in there, and it's 2 balls and a strike. And they've got 3-0 on the scoreboard, but I'm pretty sure that first pitch was a strike. And it is, in fact, 2-1. Nick Lagusis next for the Sabercats. Castro stepped off. He wanted to make sure that the count was correct. And now he's ready with a 2-1. Off the handle into center field. O'Grady will come in. And he's got it to retire the side. Sabercats back in front, though, as they get a run with 1 hit. And after 4, it's Saguaro 2 and Cactus Shadows 1. 7, 8, and 9 for the Falcons as Connor Mayer hits a ground ball over to third. That's grabbed by Nimtz, and he'll slide it on to first base. And the leadoff hitter retired in the Falcons' 5th inning, and the batter is Jake Colombo.
Now batting number 8, Jake Colombo.
Colombo called out on strikes his first time up. Jake Swartz for Saguaro has gone 4 1/3 innings, allowed 1 run on only 2 hits. 1 walk, 1 strikeout, 1 hit batter. And the first one to Colombo misses for ball 1. The 1-0. And that's a swing and a miss, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike.
Oh my God, what is that? It looks like a coconut.
The 1-1 pitch, that's outside, and it's 2 balls and a strike. Now the 2-1 popped up on the left side of the infield. Morris, the shortstop, calls for it. He's got it. And there's 2 down. Now Brett Lane, the Falcons' 3rd baseman. He had a base hit his first time up. Swartz starts him off with a pitch high and outside for ball 1. The 1-0. Popped up. Foul territory. Johnston, the catcher, reaches up and brings it in. And that'll end the 5th inning, a 3-up, 3-down inning for Jake Swartz. And we go to the bottom of the 5th. It's still Sabercats 2 and the Falcons 1. We move to the bottom of the 5th inning from Saguaro High School with the Sabercats leading Cactus Shadows 2-1. And Nick Lagusis will lead off. He shortens to bunt, and the pitch is a called strike. Lagusis, Johnston, and Anderson for Saguaro in the 5th. Now the 0-1. That's a fastball, and that's high for a ball, and it's 1-1. Castro back to work on the 1-1 pitch, and a breaking ball. That's outside. And it's 2-1. The 2-1 pitch. That's high, and it's ball 3. 3-1 to Lagusis. Nick popped out to the shortstop in the 2nd inning. The 3-1. Not close there. It's a leadoff walk for Lagusis and the Sabercats in the 5th inning. Now Woody Johnston, the number 9 hitter. Saguaro not a team that sacrifices a whole lot, but up 2-1 here with the number 9 hitter up might not be a bad idea to try to get it down. And Johnston pulls the bat back and takes strike 1. Oh, did the pitcher Castro step off? Must not have been on the rubber. The 0-1, the bunt on again. The pitch is low, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike. Goose is over at first base. Got to be careful and not get picked off if he thinks a bunt's going to get down and he ends up taking a longer secondary lead. And that pitch over for a strike. Well, you got to get the bat out there and not give up on the pitch. But Castro, knowing that Johnson's trying to bunt, puts it over the outside corner. Now the bunt's off. And the third baseman, Lane, will move back a couple of steps. He's even with the bag over at third now. The set, and Castro steps off. 1-2 the count on Johnson. Nobody out and a runner at first base. We play in the bottom of the 5th inning, and Saguaro leading Cactus Shadows 2-1. The 1-2. That didn't miss by much. A little bit low, maybe. 2 balls and 2 strikes. And the 2-2 with a runner going. The pitch is strike 3. The throw to second base. And it's a strike him out, throw him out, double play. So Colombo throws out another base runner. And now 2 away with the bases empty for Austin Anderson, and that was a rough at-bat there for the Sabercats after getting a leadoff walk. Not able to get the bunt down. In fact, not even a bunt attempt. Instead, the bat pulled back to take 2 strikes. As now Anderson will line a ball into left field, and that's down for a base hit. Austin going to make the big turn. He's going to try for second base. The throw comes in late. And Anderson has a hustle double. And that's a good gamble there, because if you stop at first base, potentially it's going to take 2 singles or an extra base hit to get you home. And this way you get the runner into scoring position, and now a single can score Anderson. We get a timeout from the Falcons dugout. We play in the bottom of the 5th inning. Saguaro leading Cactus Shadows 2-1. After the Falcons timeout, Zach Gibbons in there, and a balk is called. So no pitch to Gibbons. And Anderson goes to third on the balk. And the base umpire called it, saying that Castro did not make a complete stop there when he came set. They'll work out of the windup now, and the first one to Gibbons is inside for ball 1. The 1-0. And that's hit back up the middle and into center field, a base hit, and the Sabercats add a run in the bottom of the 5th inning. An RBI single for Zach Gibbons. And it's 3-1 Sabercats. Again, that's the beauty of Anderson taking that extra base for his base hit. You know, a lot of hitters see that ball and maybe they just take a big turn and take a long single. And now Ackman with a slow ground ball off the end of the bat, fielded, and the throw on to first base is in time, and the side retired. But the Sabercats do a little damage in the 5th inning as they get a run on 2 hits. They leave 1, and after 5, it's now Saguaro 3 and Cactus Shadows 1. Top of the order for Cactus Shadows in the 6th inning as Kyle Brown leads off, and he faces a new Sabercat pitcher as Turner Lace is on to pitch the 6th inning. And there's a fly ball down the left field line and just out of the reach of Anderson. And the count goes to no balls and 2 strikes. So Lace out there for the Sabercats. No record, an ERA of 7, 2 innings pitched, 5 hits allowed, a walk, and 3 strikeouts. Pitch outside, and it's 1-2. Jake Swartz goes 5 innings for the Sabercats. He's in line for the win. He allowed 2 hits, 1 run that was earned. There's a line drive, and that's caught by Lagusis. That was a shot off the bat of Brown, but Lagusis there for the first out. Anyway, 2 hits, 1 run that was earned, 1 walk, 1 strikeout, 1 hit batter. And Swartz threw 58 pitches to get through 5 innings, so very economical.
Come on, Beezer.
And that's important as the week goes along, as the Sabercats still potentially will play 3 more games this week. They're playing their 3rd of the week already. And there's a line drive out to center field, and that'll get down in front of Gibbons for a base hit. One on and 1 out for Sean O'Grady.
Come on, Sean.
Cactus Shadows will have 1 more game in tournament play, as they will be over at Chaparral tomorrow to play the Firebirds. And Lace with a breaking ball. That's inside for ball 1. 1 on, 1 out, top of the 6th inning. Cactus Shadows batting as they trail Saguaro 3-1. The 1-0. It's a little bit low, and it's 2 balls and no strikes. A 2-0 pitch. Pop up, and that's a help for the Sabercats. Lagusis over there, and he'll bring it in for the 2nd out. So a big 2nd out there to retire Sean O'Grady, a dangerous hitter for the Falcons. And now Lace will go after Eugene Ruiz, the right fielder. Ruiz with a walk and a ground out in his 2 at-bats, or 2 plate appearances anyway, and he takes a breaking ball for a strike. The ball bounced in there. And the runner will go to second base on the wild pitch, and the count moves to 1-1. Another one bounced in there, and that'll move the runner to third base. So back-to-back wild pitches. Moves the runner from first around to third, and now just 90 feet away from getting that run right back that the Sabercats pushed across in the bottom of the 5th. Two balls and a strike on Ruiz as Lace sets. And Turner's pitch. Hit on the ground, out to short. Morris will circle around it, set his feet, throw to first base, and that's in time. And Cactus Shadows is turned away in the 6th inning. They get a 1-out base hit. The runner is stranded at third base, and after 5.5, the Falcons trail the Sabercats 3-1.
First baseman, number 15, Reed Austin.
4, 5, and 6 for Saguaro. Reed Austin going after the first pitch. It's a pop-up on the first base side right near the foul line. In fair territory, it's caught by Beebe. 1 pitch and 1 out. And a new pitcher out there for Cactus Shadows. Their starting shortstop, Brett Beezer, comes on to pitch. I think I said Beiser earlier, and maybe it's Beezer, but he's the new pitcher. Castro moves from the mound over to third base as Matt Morris takes a strike. C.J. Davis is the new shortstop, and a new catcher in is Jared McIntyre. The 1 strike pitch. That's over for a strike. And it's 0-2. Shake off at the signs. Now the 2-strike pitch. And that is strike 3. So Morris called out on strikes.
Now batting third baseman number 5, John Nims.
There's 2 away for John Nims. First pitch is outside for ball 1. Next pitch over for a strike, and it's 1-1. The 1-1 pitch. That's over for a strike, and it's 1-2. Yeah, we look ahead to the Cactus Shadows 7th inning. They'll send up 5, 6, and 7 in the order. Shake off of the signs. Now the kick and the 1-2 pitch. And that's hit on the ground out towards second, but the second baseman took a step right, comes back, and throws on to first base and out at first. I don't know what happened there, as Brown must not have seen it very well off the bat. He took a step to his right and then had to scramble back to his left, smothered the ball, and then had enough to throw Nims out. It's a 3-up, 3-down Sabercat 6th inning, and we head to the 7th. Saguaro still leading Cactus Shadows 3-1. Eduardo Castro will lead off for the Falcons in the 7th inning, and he'll take a breaking ball for a strike. And the next pitch inside, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike. Michael Bloom has come on to play right field for Saguaro. Chris Ackman has moved from right field to first base. And that leaves Reed Austin free to get loose if the Sabercats need him here in the inning. And that's going to dink down into right center field for a leadoff base hit. And the Falcons will bring the tying run to the plate here in the top of the 7th inning. That might get Austin going here, we'll see. Second base hit for Castro. He's got to stay on unless we get a pinch runner. Austin in the Sabercat dugout. Coach Dyer coming out of the dugout for Saguaro. Austin was following him, and he told Reed to go back into the dugout at least for a second here, and we'll see what happens. We get a break in the 7th inning. Cactus Shadows will bring the tying run to the plate with nobody out. They trail 3-1. Sabercats do make a pitching change as Trevor Beebe bats and faces Reed Austin. The first pitch low for a ball. That moves some more Sabercats around as the 1-0 pitch is bounced in there. Johnston with a good block to keep the runner at first. Turner Lace stays in the ball game and goes to third base. John Nims goes from third to first, and Chris Ackman is back out in right field. There's a pitch on the corner, a strike, and it's 2-1. Runner at first base, nobody out, top of the 7th. And that ball laced foul and out of play down the right side, and it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Austin's last appearance was last Wednesday against Shadow Mountain. There's a called third strike. Beebe fooled on the breaking ball, and that's the first out. But for Reed Austin, 0-1. I think he should have a save, although they don't have it on the stat sheet. 6.56 earned run average, 5 1/3 innings pitched, 8 hits allowed, 6 walks, and 6 strikeouts. He got hit around a little bit in the game Wednesday, but he gritted it out. It was a non-save situation as Connor Mayer tries to bunt and bunts it all the way foul and out of play. Austin came in a non-save situation as Saguaro was up 14-9. He gave up 4 runs and 4 hits in the 7th inning, but he left the tying run on at second base. No balls and a strike on Mayer. 3-1 Sabercats in the 7th. And a balk is called on Austin. So Castro goes to second base on the balk. That runner doesn't really matter a whole lot. It's the guy at the plate that represents the tying run. So if Austin stays locked in on the guy at the plate, things should work out. The 0-1 hit on the ground. Morris, he's going to throw to third, and the Falcons run into an out at third base. But the ball came out of the glove of Lace at third, and Coach Dyer's asking if the ball came out on the transfer. And the umpire says no, so I guess the play will stand as it rolled away from Lace. So it'll go as a fielder's choice as Castro is still alive over there at third base, and now Mayer at first. He represents the tying run. The go-ahead run at the plate is Jake Colombo. And actually, it's not Colombo, it's McIntyre who came in for Colombo. And the first pitch misses for a ball. Now, a base running mistake for Cactus Shadows as that pitch is outside, and it's 2-0. But the Falcons fortunate as the Sabercats not able to hang on to the baseball over there. The 2-0 pitch, that's on the outside corner, a strike, and it's 2-1. First and third with 1 out in the top of the 7th inning. Cactus Shadows down 3-1, but they've got something going here in the 7th. Runner from